We are talking Microsoft today, revolutionising the tech scene, embedding groundbreaking AI into every facet of its operations, supercharging cloud growth and setting new industry standards as well. This quarter, Microsoft's Azure surged by 33%. Overall earnings smashed expectations, lighting up the market with robust enterprise demand, while its diversified business model continues to deliver impressive financials. Looking ahead, long-term growth powered by pioneering AI, relentless global expansion, and also a strategic push into gaming and productivity, positioning Microsoft for significant upside, even as rising capex and fierce competition present new challenges. For more, let's head to Florida. We're joined by Brad Gastworth from Unearthing Opportunities. What do you think of Microsoft at the moment?
Wow, I mean, that quarter that they just reported recently, I mean, it was phenomenal. And you just mentioned that in the prelude. I mean, it's really hard to find something negative from what they reported a few weeks back. I mean, ultimately, it's a must-own large cap stock. I mean, as you mentioned, they're really integrating artificial intelligence into every area of their business. We're seeing this 70 billion revenue company growing double digits. It's still trading at a historical discount to its average PE. I think you can still see significant upside in the stock over the next 1 to 2 years.
What role is AI having in Microsoft's strategy at the moment?
I mean, it's a huge role. I mean, they've done a phenomenal job investing early, and that's really been the differentiator for most of these companies that have been benefiting. I mean, the companies that are investing heavily in AI will benefit, and the ones that aren't are going to be left in the dust. And Microsoft, from the very beginning, spent a tremendous amount. That's helping them out. They're looking at where they're integrating it in their Office suite. It's just a minimal upgrade, but it's offering substantial margin profitability for them. And I think this is, again, I think numbers are still going to go higher. That cloud number was amazing, but ultimately AI is being integrated everywhere, and it's helping them out a lot.
Talk to us about Azure and the impressive growth there.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it was 30% plus. I mean, if you look at on the cloud side, AWS has been, the fan favorite on, from an enterprise perspective. Microsoft's been a close two. Google, let's say it's in the 3 or 4 category. But yeah, the Azure, I mean, they really knocked the cover off the ball. And I think people are looking for diversification. And ultimately, I think all of the major cloud providers, most large corporations now have this, duplicated triplicate because of what happened from the data side previously. So I think it's important to have it, but the Azure numbers, I mean, I don't think anybody was expecting 30% plus growth.
Yeah, and which is interesting, right? Outperforming market forecasts. Is this usual for Microsoft, or are they just having a good time?
It's a great question. This isn't usual. I mean, they definitely have blown away numbers previously. This is a substantial number off a very high base. So the question and the thing that I'm paying attention to, along with I think most of the investors on Wall Street, will this type of growth continue? I don't think you will be able to see it continue at this rate. But what rate will it? What type of growth rate will that Azure grow? I think if it gets this double digits, the high double digits, what we just saw, I mean, the stock, again, it's very undervalued from a historical basis, and you just get an average PE or a little bit of a premium to the average PE, you can see a stock 40% higher. So I think large cap guys are really loving Microsoft. That quarter was great, and it's really hard to find something negative here.
And I guess one of those points about capex that I mentioned at the start there, what are the challenges that rising capex bring, and why is it rising?
Yeah, I mean, it brings a lot of challenges. One, I mean, how much of it will be wasted money that doesn't help out future growth is the biggest question from investors and even the company itself. Are they investing, and is it going to yield, some type of benefit down the road? They're investing in AI and infrastructure, and they need to. I mean, with what they're including and doing on the AI side, they have to invest this type of money. It's an extremely large sum, but again, they've been one of the leaders with integration. They've done an incredible job from just looking at the cloud side, looking at the personal side and the enterprise. I mean, they've really done a good job integrating it. And then even on gaming, you're going to see some interesting things there as well. So I mean, they're really integrating it across the board, and I mean that certainly is needed to have that type of spend going forward for more, I'd say, innovation, for lack of better words.
Let's put Microsoft and Apple side by side. Let's look at the two companies because their whole history has been infused together. Both very good at the business side, both massive American Silicon Valley companies, but also for quite a long time they've been at each other's throats. Of course, Steve Jobs versus Bill Gates. Talk to us about the direction that the companies are now headed in. Is it still the same? Is one better at consumer and the other better at corporate and business and cloud? What are your views?
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw a little bit of a divergence over the last several years and maybe even the last decade. Microsoft has really gone and continued to improve around its enterprise side, and Apple just absolutely crushes it on the consumer side. So, from that perspective, I do think they've diverged quite a bit. Yeah, you're right. They're like two of the tech darlings, for the last few decades. If you look at, Apple, it's a product company. I mean, the one thing that Steve Jobs did a great job and Tim Cook grabbed that, baton and ran fast was really creating great products that are user-friendly, that just work. And, that's the Apple story. On the Microsoft side, it's not really the product, the innovation. It's just making things that are really helping out the day-to-day process, especially on enterprise, that are good and helpful for the suite of products that they have. So one's a very, a product versus a product on consumer. One's just doing a best-in-class enterprise. So I do think that diverged quite a bit. They're really not, I mean, ever since Microsoft left the mobile space, they stopped going into the personal side for the most part. Apple's really, for the most part, a consumer branded company, a consumer products company.
Yeah, very much so. All right, Brad Gasworth, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.